My discomfort suddenly shuffled around, waiting for a week to get an episode, to there will be no show on Wednesdays. The OG fans will surely agree with me that Daredevil Born Again was the much awaited show that everyone was looking at. The disappointment around its collaboration with Disney rather than Netflix was a concerning thing. People were skeptical of the quality of it, which is relevant, but the trailer of The Devil of Hell's Kitchen somehow spread the ray of hope. And of course, the chatter around it was too loud. I was excited, of course, to witness Matt Murdock with his charming nature again and the basic beauty of Netflix Daredevil. The stronghold in emotions, the edge of the seat fight sequences, the philosophy, the gruesome kingpin, and obviously my favorite from this show, the courtroom drama. Has it maintained the same quality in this new season? That I'll be discussing in this video, which will be full of spoilers, so you know what to do hereafter. So, this is my point of view on the 2025 Marvel television show Daredevil Born Again, where I'll be discussing the good, the bad, and the verdict in this video, so you can make an informed decision about whether this series deserves your time or not. Stay with me till the end. The cinematography just blew my mind with how the scenes without any dialogues were pulled off with just the camera work. Remember the scene from the very first episode where Fisk was elected as the president? Look at the ending of it, where Fisk was at a high place looking down at his win and Murdock, who was standing in between the people with the mist, as his individuality as the vigilante was just evaporating in between the crowd. Also, the opening credit of the first episode where Daredevil chose to get rid of his vigilante thing, where he dropped the mask from the terrace and with the falling mask they rolled the intro. How beautifully that was showcased. Now, when Murdock was conversing with Hector Ayala in the cell, he was trying to explain to Ayala about his white tiger thing, but if you noticed the dialogues, then he was actually fighting with himself, with his own beliefs and situations. Even in the finale, when Punisher was surrounded by Fisk's army, there was a glimpse of that scene. But his skull face printed shirts were surrounding Punisher, where he addressed them as the Joker, which was clarified with the dialogues where Castle was Punisher because of his traumatic past. Just adapting his techniques doesn't make anyone a troop of him. There have been many scenes like this. I can just go on and on. These were very well crafted in this season, along with the color grading, which depicts power dynamics, anger, transformation, dissolution, and clarity. The background scores and music, these do put the soul of this series in the right place, where the fight sequences were mostly without any scores, just the right designing, but the conversation ones, those have that gradually increasing background music that puts the depth into those particular scenes. Listen to the end credit music of the season finale, that designed like we will be in the hell hereafter, where on the other hand the conversation scenes were situated in sync sound, which provides the exact atmosphere of that particular scene, like the first face-off between Fisk and Murdock or the telephonic conversation between Murdock and Ayala. Those scenes have their own beauty to watch. While talking about the scene, the dialogues were fabulously well written. My god, the depth it pulls in every scene has my heart. Whether it's a conversation between Fisk and Murdock at the coffee shop, the meetup of Murdock and Frank, or the courtroom scenes, all have my heart. Courtroom scenes are contained in the third and fourth episodes, and my god, how brilliantly those were written. The slow build-up of Ayala case and that sudden drop of him as the vigilante, which disrupts the whole case. Just look at that Ayala case closely, and you will notice with the ongoing case how intense it's going with the duration and more we get attached to Hector's character. Within those two episodes, they established the solid characterization. His sudden death actually felt like a personal loss. That's called writing beauty. Again, the Ayala and Matt, or Karen and Matt, or Matt and Ayala's niece Angela, all these conversations were portrayed beautifully, where all these showcased the deepest emotions. The beauty of portraying the scenes also has its own meaning. Scenes where makers didn't tell us directly but dropped the hints continuously. The knuckle shots of Fisk, where we all get to know that he was after Adam, with whom Vanessa was involved in the absence of Fisk, or the portion of food Fisk consumed in the beginning and gradually that increased, or his coats were getting tighter along with the duration. All these were signs that Fisk was stepping towards his kingpin journey. And just if you could remember that the opinions of different people of New York, which were covered by the local news channel, were neglected in the end. Especially in the last two episodes, which showcased that opinions do matter when you are going to the top, and once you have achieved it, those becomes just gibberish. At the end of the season, Mayor Wilson Fisk became the kingpin, the nightmare of New York. And with his every step, it became clear that this is what he was up to. The meetup of Matt and Castle, where Castle put the shit out of Matt. That moment where I was literally sobbing. Also, you could notice the emotional bondage between the couples here. The more the narrative goes on, the more it reflects both the relationships, where the bond between Fisk and Vanessa became stronger as the story progressed. But on the other hand, it became more fragile for both Murdoch and Heather. And in the finale, that hospital scene was hilarious. That's how the villains were made. The action design has to be top notch, which was a definite bet on the show, and the makers understood the sincerity of that thing. The opening episode fight sequence between Daredevil and Bullseye was brilliantly choreographed, with the score of Foggy's Heartbeat. The fight sequence with Muse in the tunnel or in the therapy room was all executed finely. I noticed there was a game-like effect in the fight sequences while Daredevil was in his costume. But when he represents Matt himself, that effect is humanistic. And that's a deliberate thing. Very clear. People were concerned about the brutality. I don't think they have any complaint now. The breaking hand bones, to flying kick, to break legs, to Frank in his slasher mode, to Fisk in his head crushing journey. This is called cinema. Absolute cinema, my friend. The performances, which are the backbone of this show, are where every single actor stands out the most. Daredevil or Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox, Wilson Fisk, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, Frank Castle, played by John Bernthal, and Vanessa Fisk, played by Ayelet Zurer. All these were so phenomenal in their individual roles that it seems like 7 years were just a yesterday thing. I can't segregate one from another here. Everyone stands out. But who shines with this series will be the Daniel Blake character, played by Michael Gandolfini. He had a small role, but in the end of it, his screen presence was absolutely commendable. Also, White Tiger or Hector Ayala, played by Kamar D. Los Reyes. How this man impacts with his character within just 2 episodes will be in my heart for a long time, I'm sure. Hell of a performer. This show actually uplifts the quality of the Netflix one from every single aspect. I can't complain here. The 5th episode was a very lazy take to confirm the integration of Daredevil into the Marvel saga. That can easily be treated as an element rather than a full story, but I can overlook it. The overall product is so satisfying that I can easily stay with the essence of it till the next season kicks in, which is in progress by the way, and possibly hits the screens next March. With the primal screams, the husband-wife chatter between Murdoch and Castle, the metaphors, the background scores, and the scene design. Announce it, we are back, baby. we are so back. My heart is literally contained within this masterpiece of 2025. I would highly recommend this if you still haven't watched it. What are your thoughts on this show? If you have watched this, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know about this video too. I'm trying too many things with the thumbnail to improve it, so do comment on this too. Thank you so much for watching. See you at the point of view.